Hey, welcome to A Moment to Move. My name is Garen, and today we are going to do a flow that's going to help you get into crow. So we're going to open up our hips, work on our upper back, engage the core, and a little bit of balance. So when you're ready, meet me in tabletop position, and we're going to start working on them wrists and fingertip grip. From your tabletop position, you can just gently grip the mat. So these are your brakes. So if you come too far forward later on in crow pose, you can use these as you grip into the mat as your brakes. So bring the shoulders over the wrist now. You might find yourself getting lighter on your toes. It can even come up, and just use them to grip into the mat. So you want to push into the upper back, so you're doming, and you want to spin the eyes of the elbows forward. And come as far forward as you can. We're warming up our wrists, and we're just getting used to that sensation of gripping the mat. And then come back. Might want to shake them out. It was a little intense to start. And we're just going to do the same again. So we're not only warming up our wrists, we're also activating those fingertips and getting used to gripping the mat. You might want to just pedal out your hands nicely, bring one shoulder forward, then the other. And again, just gently gripping that mat. You want to push into the back, so you've got a gentle dome. As you're spreading the shoulder blades apart, and you're pulling the shoulder blades down the armpits. And we're going to come back, shake out the hands, and we'll go for one more of those. I didn't say earlier, if you've got blocks or a cushion, it might come in handy later on. So one more time, coming forward, pushing into the ground, gripping the mat, little dome in the upper back, and come as far forward as you can so you can feel it in your wrists because we're stretching them out. Take a few breaths. Again, you can rock from side to side, and we're going to come back. You can interlace the hands and just gently roll them out. Let the tension in your wrists come back to neutral. And then from here, we're going to place those hands down again. And we're just going to come into cat pose. So we're going to spin the eyes of the elbows forward, little activation in the fingertips, push into the ground so the upper back is domed, and then you want to bring that tailbone under and that navel to the spine. So engage in the core. You want to squeeze your glutes just slightly, and you really want to protract them shoulder blades as much as you can. And we're just going to hang out here. You should be able to feel the core engaged. If you really bring that navel to the spine, really push into the hands, and really dome that upper back. And as you exhale, you can bring your chest through, stick the bum to the sky, and pull the shoulder blades onto the back for a cow pose. So just resting here before we push into the hands ever so slowly and start doming that upper back, coming into a nice, high, powerful cat pose. Scoot that tailbone under, squeeze the glutes, spin the eyes of the elbows forward, and bring that navel to the spine. Pull the shoulder blades down the back so they're not up by your ears. Just hanging out in cat pose. Take a few rocks from side to side. Bring the chest down and through into your cow pose. Ever so quickly, walk the hands out in front of you, and we're going to push the hips up to the sky for downward facing dog. Begin to pedal out the feet. From here, we're going to raise our right leg to the sky. And then we're going to bring that knee into the chest, and we're going to roll forward, and we're going to bring it up high into the tricep, as high as you can. And again, you want to dome the upper back. This is great for crow pose because you're getting that rounding of the spine, eyes of the elbows forward, and you're bringing that hip up. And then we're going to keep the dome, but lower the knee down to the wrist. Bring that navel to the spine so the core is engaged, and then lift it back up. And then step outside the right hand, flex the toes, and we're just going to come into a lizard lunge. So you can bring that back knee down if you'd like, or you can keep it up and take a few bounces. Make sure you're flexing the toes towards the knee, protect your knee joint. And we're trying to open up the hips because it's very necessary for crow pose to have nice open hips. You can take a few circles. Back to those bounces. And from there you can walk your right fingertips forward and then heel toe your right foot in between. Bring your right hand back so your foot's now in between your torso. And we're going to shift the weight forward and we're going to come into a warrior three. So you can place your hands down onto the ground. You can take a bend in the knee, but we want to try to use the balance and learn to balance now. So I'm going to bring my right arm forward, left leg back, and then left arm alongside my left leg. And we're just going to feel balance here. So you can feel when you start coming too far forward, you grip your toes into the mat. And when you come too far back, you push your heel into the mat. So you're trying to create balance in your body. We're strengthening the back line of our body at the same time, but we're learning balance with our feet. And place the hands down to the ground. Bring that left foot alongside the right, and we're going to lower down, open up the feet, and we're going to lower down into squat. So again, we're opening up our hips. Now from here, we're going to bring the arms inside the legs. I'll turn to face you. So this is basically our setup for crow. We're not going into crow yet, but we're going to feel into the body and how it feels. So you want to bring your arms just inside the thighs, and then you want to squeeze the thighs into the arms and then the arms out against the thighs. You should be able to get a nice straighter back in this position. And this is for outside of the leg crow version. So if you feel that engagement there, you want to bring that navel to the spine, proud through the chest, and then squeeze the thighs into the arms. And you can really feel solid engagement here in those thighs, in those arms. It's like a counteracting feel. I'll take a few breaths here. I'm just trying to get used to that sensation. Again, you can start gripping the mat just slightly. From there, we're going to come out of that. We're going to step back into our plank. And we're just going to, again, like we were earlier with our fingertip activation, we're going to spin the eyes of the elbows forward, squeeze the glutes, and we're going to come as far forward as we can come here in our high plank. And we're going to lower down halfway. And we're going to try to keep extended forward, push up to the top and dome that upper back. And these are really extended push-ups. But it's great for shoulder strength. So we'll go for 3 more, lower down halfway, extend away, 2, 3, 4, last one, shift forward, 5, push back up to plank, roll over the feet, coming into downward facing dog. So it's really good for building strength in the shoulders, extended plank push-ups. And from there, we're going to raise that left leg up to the sky, point the toes, bring that knee into the chest and roll forward, coming into that tiger tail. So you want to bring that left leg, left knee up as high as you can into that left tricep. Squeeze that glute, dome the upper back and pull it away from the ears. And we'll slowly lower down to the left wrist, keeping that dome, that glute engaged and that navel to the spine. Bring it back up, flex the toes, step outside the left foot. And again, we're going to open up those hips. So take a few bounces, whatever you need to feel into the hip. Again, you can place that right knee down to the mat. And just want to flex them toes to protect that knee joint. From there, walk the left fingers forward, bring that left foot inside both hands, bring that left arm back. And again, we're going to come into that warrior 3 variation. You can have fingers down, extend through the spine, Or you can come up and bring your left arm forward, right arm back, point the toes, and start feeling balance in your body. Again, you test yourself by coming a little bit forward and then grip into the mat with your left toes, and then shift the weight back a little bit and then push into that heel. It's okay if you fall out, it's just working on balance. From there, place the hands down, step that right foot alongside the left and lower your hips to come into a squat. Then from here, we're simply going to place the hips down onto the ground, and we're going to take a reclined crow position. So we're going to roll onto our backs, we're going to bring those hips into the armpits, and we're going to extend the hands up to the sky. Flex the fingers back as if your hands are on the ceiling. Bring those knees into the armpits the best you can. And then again, we're going to squeeze the body, the legs into the arms pushing back out against the legs. Bring your chest up, dome in the upper back, and bring that navel to the spine. So we're working our core here extremely well. Keep bringing that navel into the spine. Keep squeezing the body and bringing the arms to the legs, legs to the arms. Bring that navel to the spine. Dome in the upper back, chest up towards where your hands are. It's kind of hard to talk in these poses. And we'll hold for 10, 9, 8, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet down to the ground, and you can gently windscreen wiper legs from side to side. And I feel we have the place need to be to come into our crow pose. So we'll come back on your mat and sit in your squat. Now, if you want, you can place a cushion down, because most people's most fear is face planting. So with this here, you can just go, and you are perfectly fine. Knowing there's a pillow there for your face. You can also place blocks under your heels, so you're not as far off when you want to come off the ground. I'm not going to take the block option, but I'll keep the pillow for now. So we want to take that engagement that we just had when we're on reclined, and we're going to start with outside the arm version. So you want to make sure the hands are gently gripping into the mat. You want to squeeze the thighs into the arms into the thighs. Now pull your arms down, your shoulders should be away from the ears. And we're gently just going to come forward, high onto the tiptoes, keep pushing into the ground. So we're now in that plank cat-cow position. Bring that navel to the spine and just take one leg off. You can have a bend in your elbows, take one leg off, and you can flirt with coming forward and back. Then, if you want to catch a bit of hang time, squeeze the arms into the legs, legs into the arms, push through the hands, and lower back down the way you came. Again, now we'll try the other side first. So we'll bring the left leg off the ground first, and then to flirt with bringing the right leg off as well. So we'll push into the ground, dome the upper back, pull the shoulder blades down, take that left leg off, and we're just sitting on our right toes. And we come forward and back, and just flirt with pushing in and gripping the mat. And then if you're ready, you can take the other foot off the ground. Look directly down in front of you, dome the upper back, bring that navel to the spine, and lower back down. So there's possibly the easier version of crow, but it's all a matter of opinion. But there's one way to play with one posture of crow. The next way is to bring the knees into the armpits. So that's why we were opening up the hips earlier. And you want to tuck them in as snug as you can. You want to bring the armpits to the knees to the armpits. And again, we're going to set up that foundation. We're going to bend the elbows, and we're going to shift forward. You can bring one leg off. So right leg comes off onto the back of the right tricep. And you can just flirt with bringing that left leg off as well. Look down in front of you, dome the upper back, bring the navel to the spine, grip the mat with the fingertips. And when you're ready, place your left leg down, right leg down, and come back to squat. Maybe you want to shake out the wrists, and we'll play with the other side. So again, get the mat how you need it, hands where you need it, eyes of the elbows forward, armpits and knees connect. And we're going to shift forward. I think it's left foot first this time. So shift forward, bend in there, in the knees, in the arms. Bring that left leg off and just take a few bounces until you feel confident. Remember that pillow is there to protect your face. It's getting a little sweaty for me. And we're off. Push into the ground, elbows away, shoulders away from the ears. Dome the upper back, navel to the spine. You might want to touch your feet together. Your call. And then when you're ready, lower the right foot down, left foot down, and shake out the wrists. The last version of crow would be, I guess, what they call crane pose. It's when you do straight arms. So it's a little sweaty for me, so we'll see if we can get into this one today. Just have a little shake out of the wrist. The mat's still there to protect my face. And again, you want to sit back in that squat, bring them elbows, bring the knees right up into them armpits. And you want to straighten your arms. So we're going to come really into that plank pose, the top of the plank pose that we were doing earlier with the plank, extended plank push-ups. You want to start shifting the weight forward, keep walking the toes, maybe a little bit further forward, straighten the arms, dome the upper back, take right foot off, and then flirt with left foot, and there we have it. Again, it's up to the balance, grip it into the mat, and we'll place that left foot down, right foot down. Shake out the wrist. Again, you might want to take a few bounces just to flirt with the idea of bringing both feet off the ground. And we'll switch over to the other side. We'll bring that armpits and knees combined. And again, we start walking the body forward, walking the body forward, right leg off, extend through the head, left foot off, push into the ground, toes touch, navel to the spine, and we'll lower back down. Doing that many crows is really quite wrist heavy. There you have it. You have two different versions and different ways you can enter and exit. Again, you can place the blocks down for your feet, but let's just shake out the wrists. I'm going to grab my right wrist with my left hand, and I'm just going to make some gentle circles. Just loosen them up. As I said, it is a lot of pressure on the hands and the wrist joint. And switch over to the other side. Swing from side to side, a little bit of round circles, and then maybe just shake out the wrists. So I'm going to now lay down onto my back, and I'm just going to bring my knees into the armpits again, grab the outside edges of my feet, and I'm going to take happy baby pose just to relax the hip flexors, because we worked into those with lizard lunge and squats. I might want to sway from side to side. Take a few breaths. If you want, you can continue playing in crow. Extend one leg nice and straight. Bring it back in. Extend the left leg. And I'll rock up to seated position. Place my cushion down to the ground. Sit down there. So there you have it. There's a nice little flow to open up your body to get into crow, and I hope the crow tutorial was to your liking, and it may have helped with a little bit of things that you've been struggling with on how to get into the crow pose. And if it's helped you in any way, and if you've hit your first crow, then let me know. It'd be great. It would be great to hear that in the comment section. And yeah, try all 3 versions, which one suits you. As I said, it's not always about how it looks or what it did for you to get there. It's about having fun with it, enjoying the process, and squeezing the mat. So thank you so much for joining me here at A Moment to Move. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Let me know how this went for you, and I'll catch you soon. Thank you.